You heard of the scientist who discovered the greenhouse effect before it was famous. In the mid-19th century, when women were largely excluded from formal scientific institutions, Eunice Foote made a groundbreaking discovery. In 1856, Eunice conducted a series of simple but profound experiments using glass jars, thermometers, and different gases. Eunice's experiment was elegant in its simplicity. She filled glass cylinders with different gases, air, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. She placed them in sunlight and measured how their temperatures changed. Eunice observed that the jar with CO2 heated up much more and stayed hot longer than the others. She published a paper titled Circumstances Affecting the Heat of the Sun's Rays, which was presented at the 1856 meeting of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. But because she was a woman, she wasn't allowed to present her own work, and a male scientist had to do it for her. Just 3 years later, the physicist John Tyndall would publish a more detailed paper on the greenhouse effect. He is usually credited with its discovery, but it is now widely recognised that Eunice made that discovery independently, and she did it first. Her most notable finding was that carbon dioxide trapped heat more effectively than other gases, a core principle of what we now call the greenhouse effect. This conclusion, which was remarkably ahead of its time, hinted at how increased CO2 in the atmosphere could affect Earth's temperature. For over a century, Eunice's contributions were largely forgotten, and Matilda effect at work, biases against crediting women scientists for their work led to a lack of documentation about her contributions and scientific achievements. There is some debate that John Tyndall knew about Eunice's work before presenting his own research, but we can't say for definite. Eunice wasn't just a scientist, she was also an activist. She fought for the abolition of slavery and for women's rights. She was a central figure to both climate science and equality, and her story reminds us of how many voices, especially women's, have shaped science even when history has tried to leave them out. So let's celebrate the work of Eunice Foote.